Let's go.
What is up, everybody? Happy Monday, if there is such a thing. Excited to be live here with y'all to break down all of the Holo Icon legendary moments that are coming through in our drop on Thursday. We'll also be revealing some metallic gold limited edition moments that will be a part of this drop as well. It's a big day for Top Shot, big week for Top Shot. Last Holo Icon drop of the year. Couldn't be more excited to be joined today by Josh Hart, the OG NBA Top Shot NBA player collector. Josh, how's it going, man? Good to have you.
What's up, my guy? Everything is good, man. I can't complain.
You eating some Twizzlers there? Did I see some Twizzlers there?
Hey, you know it. You know it. Chat, I just want to put this out there. Jacob said Twizzlers were the worst candy ever made. So I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm going to let y'all do what y'all do, but the very hot take.
Slight hyperbole, good and plenty, worse candy. Twizzlers, bottom tier candy, in my opinion, but apologies, everyone. So, Josh, as you know, Holo Icon dropping Thursday. It's going to be the second to last legendary drop of Series 2. A lot of collectors working themselves into eligibility here. As of yesterday, we had about 6,600 collectors who were eligible. We might be over 1,000, or sorry, over 7,000 as of today. Need to give the official update as soon as possible. But what I wanted to do today, and really appreciative of you taking the time out of your day to join us, is kind of go over all of the moments that are going to be a part of the Holo Icon 3 drop, reveal them, talk about them a little bit and talk about the great seasons that some of these players had in their way to making these moments that will live on the blockchain forever. So without further ado, we're going to break this down into categories. We've got a handful of them, 5 categories to be exact. The first category, we're going to break down some of the rising stars who are a part of this drop. Then we're going to talk about players that had breakout years. Then we're going to talk about rookies. Obviously, we got some high-profile rookies in this drop. We got some all-stars. And then the earnable moments that might be rewards, they might be quest prizes. We'll have to kind of keep you all posted on those. But very excited to break down all of it. Before we jump into it, Josh, how's your summer going? Obviously, it's a big summer for you. How's your hand recovering? I understand you're in Miami right now. How's that all going?
Yeah, man. So everything is really good. Thumbs recovering really well. I'm at that point where I don't even have to have a sling on it. When I'm just hanging out or even playing basketball, I don't have to have a sling or a tape job on or anything like that. So that's good. And then besides that, Miami's Miami. You gotta love Miami. So no complaints there. I'm just living my best life.
Love it. All right. So without further ado, I think it's time to jump right into it. We've got the rising stars. We've got 8 of them to be exact. And the first one we're going to start with is this legendary buzzer beater from Fred VanVleet. JP in the studio, let's play the clip.
Wait, what was the time on the clock when he first got that? I've actually never seen this shot before.
That's a great question. I think it had to have been like 0.3, 0.4.
Yeah,
that's quick, man.
That's absolutely epic. With the jerseys too. Those are like one of like the top 3 best jerseys in the league.
Let's play it again just for the jerseys so the community can get a sense of what Josh is talking about.
Yeah, man.
These are the Drake ones, right?
Yeah, the OVO ones, the all black with like the kind of like the raptor claws on the side. Those are so elite.
I like it. And this is coincidentally Fred's second buzzer beater heave of the series on Top Shot. There's another Fred VanVleet heave. So this one's the legendary version, and you don't want to miss it. Let's move ahead. De'Aaron Fox, another rising star point guard. This one just kind of putting the sauce on Brad Beal.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy because for some reason, especially on these live streams, the Pelicans will use like the butt of the joke, and he gave us 40 twice. So I was really like, when I saw De'Aaron, I was like, oh shoot, it's on us. So I'm actually very happy that that is not on the Pelicans.
Now, De'Aaron's the type of guy, and obviously Sacramento, a team on the rise, but De'Aaron's the type of guy that you can watch him play any given night, and he could be the best player on the floor. What do you think it will take for him to kind of jump into this all-star class, given how loaded the Western Conference is at point guard?
That's a tough one. Like, because I was gonna say his jump shot, but this past season he improved that dramatically, and now he's someone who's you can't really play off like that because he had the ability to knock it down. So if he gets that even a little bit better, it's going to be good. Obviously, he's in SAC, so it's a little bit of a small market, and whenever you're in a smaller market, it's sometimes harder for you to get those fan votes and all that stuff. But he's top tier, and he'll be an all-star very soon.
Heard it here first, folks. Moving along, we've got Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies. He's actually going to be on NBA Top Shot this live tomorrow night with Karis LeVert. Jaren Jackson only played 11 games this season. This was his season high of 23. And you talk about unicorns. This guy is a true 3-and-D big.
Yeah, I mean, but unfortunately, he wasn't the healthiest this season. But he's one of those guys, especially for them when he's healthy. everything just goes well for them. I remember last year, I think he got hurt a little bit towards the kind of late stretch, and we were just like, okay, we might be able to catch Memphis now because when he's in there was no catching us. So he's one of those guys, just a hell of a talent, and it's just he helps contribute to winning.
Yeah, I think like you look around the league, there are so many of these great scoring bigs at this point
Mm-hmm.
that he's a guy that kind of complements any team super
Oh
well.
yeah.
Just how well he defends the rim and he can space the floor. That's kind of like the holy grail. You're looking for those guys for years. Kristaps Porzingis was kind of like the poster child of the guy that fulfilled that role. But Jaren Jackson, of course, coming in strong with Memphis. And next season, he only played 11 games this year. Next season, I think Memphis is going to be a problem if he stays healthy.
Sure.
All right, moving ahead, we've got Malcolm Brogdon, one of my favorite players in the league for all that he stands for and how well he plays the game. This is him hitting a clutch game winner in overtime.
Yeah. Actually, like he's one of those guys where like you like even if you don't like him, you respect him, and I'm not sure why you wouldn't like him. Just because he's such a talent and he works hard. Great dude, great personality, very well spoken. I mean, and he'll go out there and get you 28 and play good defense. Like, he's good on any team. He's one of those guys you can put on any team and he'll be good.
Josh, I don't want to blow too much smoke your way, but when you got drafted and when he got drafted, I felt like there was a commonality with both of you where you did pretty much everything that you could do in college. And for whatever reason, maybe it was you were coming into the league a little older for whatever reason, got dismissed a little bit in the draft cycle. And I think Malcolm and you have both proven like, no, if you're a star in college, like you should get a lot more consideration in the pros.
Yeah. It's like now it's just like all about like potential. Like that's the biggest thing. It's like, oh, he has potential. But like, a lot of those guys, a majority of those guys that have the crazy potential, they don't really pan out. So I mean that's I'm just kind of I mean, I can look at some good guys that were in my draft class that were one and done that just didn't pan out just for whatever reason. Maybe if it was like injury or whatever, but someone who played 3-4 years in college, did everything. I think they should definitely kind of be held in a little bit of a higher light, especially right now, just because like what you're going to get from them. So I guess I'm a little biased.
No, I mean it bears out in success in the pros, and Brogdon obviously had his best year with Indiana. Surely Milwaukee's missing him these days. Moving ahead, we've got an SGA moment, just continuing the theme of star point guards from around the league.
Hey, oh my God! Yeah, is that Josh Okogie?
It looks like a Josh Okogie
Did he go
break.
out of bounds? Did he end up out of bounds? Hey, oh my bad. You don't really see many times where a guy like when you catch someone and they like somewhat either fall or just get caught, and it's like they just go like 10, 15. That's like probably 25 feet, but like that's. At least I'm not on the end of that one. I'll say that.
So when it comes to SGA, he's kind of got one of these games that like it's hard to pinpoint what exactly makes him a star, but it's undeniable if you watch him once, twice, 3 times. This guy just has something about him that's impossible to contain. From your experience, either defending him and obviously not getting your ankles broken like this, but like what have you experienced when you've been on the court with him that's made you kind of take notice?
Yeah, he's one of those guys that he's good. He obviously has like the length. He's athletic, but like you said, he doesn't have like one thing where he just wows you in. He's just good and like he's good and solid in everyone. Jump shot obviously good. He's really he doesn't get rushed. I'll say that he's really good on he's composed. He goes at his own speed. He's able to finish at the rim with both hands. So he's like one of those things where like he's not going to sit there and you're just going to be like, wow, this guy is, like top tier or whatever. But you're going to sit there and be like, yo, this guy is this guy is good. And then you're gonna look at his stat sheet, and he has 25 and 7 assists, 4 or 5 rebounds, and he's gonna do it all. So he's one of those dudes that's like he's gonna be good, especially in OKC where they're giving him like the keys. He's gonna be good.
His cousin, of course, a teammate of yours in New Orleans with Nikhil.
Yeah,
How's
man.
your
My
going?
my my guy, he just made the Canadian national team, man. So he's gonna be out there in the Olympics. I'm happy for my guy.
So my SGA story is, as the dumb Knicks fan that I am, we drafted Frank the year before, and when it was our time to draft at 8, we ended up with Kevin Knox, but I was out on SGA just because I thought we already had an SGA on our team with Frank. And, that's your annual reminder of Knicks
Yep, you were
fans
wrong
don't
about
know
that
what they
one.
want. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, nothing better in the league when you don't draft one guy that everyone wanted, and then you draft someone else, and then like a year or two later, you make a trade and give up a lot of stuff for the one guy you could have drafted, and then you like let him go. Hey man, hey, what do I know? But what do I know?
Yeah, that rings eerily true for the past few years with the Knicks. All right, moving ahead, we've got another rising star in the Washington Wizards, Rui Hachimura. If you know Rui, you know he is one of the most athletic wings, and he has poster ability.
Oh, good lord, who's that? Isaiah Stewart?
Isaiah Stewart, yeah, getting baptized into the league.
Yeah, he's gonna be good. Like especially when they keep Russ and Brad there. He's like he's an NBA player body. He's athletic. He has a good mid range. Obviously, he's working on his expanding that. But he's one of those guys that's just overall solid that can do whatever you ask him to do on the court. And then I mean he puts guys on the rim like that. After a while, this is gonna let him. This is gonna let him march to the rim because a lot of guys don't want to get dunked on.
Rui's just an interesting play. Obviously, the first Japanese-born player in the NBA, and needless to say, in the crypto world, Japan is a big market. So there is some kind of sense that Rui might bring a lot of crypto heads from Japan into Top Shot, and vice versa, NBA fans into crypto through his presence on Top Shot. And this dunk on Isaiah Stewart, needless to say.
I'm about to say, there's nowhere better to go than get some of these NFTs for them, and they're sitting pretty.
That's right. All right, moving ahead, we've got 2 more from this section, and they are 2 heavy hitters. Michael Porter Jr. Unfortunately, the Nuggets got eliminated last night, but Porter cemented himself as a star this season, and not as known for his defense, but right here he shows it.
Yeah, no, it's actually like seeing stuff like that is actually good, especially for a young guy who's not known for your defense. Just because, I mean, it shows that you're going to do whatever. Like if you're going to sit there, you're trying to get a chase down block, and someone's trying to dunk it, and you're not worried about getting dunked on, and you're just kind of like, all right, like I can go contest this one. Like it's good. So for him, and obviously it's good for him because he wasn't fully healthy in college, and then that was like a big reason why he dropped in the draft. And now you're starting to see him fully healthy, putting up 30s, 40s efficiently, and he's going to be, especially there with Jokic, and you got Jamal for sure going to be good next year. He's going to be, that team's going to be good too.
Do you think if Denver had Jamal for this series, they would have beaten Phoenix, or do you think the sweep was enough of a statement from Phoenix that this was their season to go to the conference?
Yeah, no, I don't think it would have been I don't think they would have beat them, but I don't think it would have been a sweep though, because obviously Jamal gives you that ability to have a playmaker, with the ball in his hands. I feel like there's a lot of it on Jokic, but when you have him, who's an all-star, who's able to knock down shots, get guys involved, get the ball to the basket, and do that. You guys saw what he did in the bubble. So when you down that, it's tough. And then even on the flip side, he would have handed, whether it was CP or one of the guys that guard him on that side of the ball. So that changes things. When you're running around with someone like Jamal, you get a little tired.
Right. Yeah, I mean, needless to say, another player from that same SGA draft that the Knicks passed on. So I digress there. But moving ahead to the last player from the Rising Star section, we've got RJ Barrett.
Oh, there you go. We got a Knick right there.
Someone we hit on correctly. And RJ bringing the pain here.
Yeah, no, he's going to be – I mean, what New York did this year was like you knew they were going to be good, but you didn't know they were going to be 4 seed. You know, you knew they would make the playoffs, but didn't know they were going to be the 4 seed. You have Tibbs, who was coach of the year this year, and they were good. And I mean, they're going to be so much better next year because you just know they're going to attract free agents. Uncle Leon over there is going to make some moves. So they're gonna be good. And when New York is good, like the NBA is different, man. So you like when the Knicks are competing and they're in the playoffs, bro, basketball is at its best.
Josh, I think we have a little revisionist history here because the Knicks were slated to be the second to worst team in the NBA by the Vegas betting lines this season. So I certainly didn't know they'd be good. I was pleasantly surprised. And RJ kind of taking on a little bit of a hybrid between what Jimmy Butler did for Tibbs with the Bulls or Luol Deng did for the Bulls back in the day. He can shoot the three really well now, which was not something that he was able to do superiorly well as a rookie. And, you know, I think the sky's the limit. He's a two-way player, really shows the effort on both sides. So future is bright, very excited. Seeing in the comments, want to definitely reiterate to everyone here, there will be a giveaway tonight. We're giving away a Holo Icon pack. Stay with it. Do not listen to the fudsters that are trying to get you out so they have a better chance of getting it.
Assholes.
we have some of them. We got one more section before we get to the two that I'm most excited about. And all of these sections are obviously great, but this next section is specific to the guys that had breakout years. So very excited. We're going to start with a guy that if Julius Randle wasn't around, he very well may have been most improved player, and that's Christian Wood.
Yeah, I knew he was going to be good. It's actually funny because like he's been in the league actually for several years, and you know going from like team to team, but you knew once he like fully put it together, he was going to be good. And he's I mean something clicked when he was in Detroit last year, and then hey, it's whatever switch he flipped, he did the right thing because he's a problem.
Yeah, I still don't know quite what went into Detroit's thought process to bring in 5, 6, 7 centers, one of which is not Christian Wood. But, you know, I digress. Jeremy Grant proved to be a great pickup, and Isaiah Stewart's proven to be a good pick. So don't need to throw shade on Detroit, but Christian Wood was, you know, sitting on the roster. Could have brought him back.
Yeah,
got a really reasonable deal.
Interesting thought process and very interesting thought process on that one.
Yeah, and Houston, meanwhile, got a hell of a deal. I think it's a 3-year, $42 million deal or something like that. That's a good value for the next 2 years. And, you know, Houston not necessarily trying to win right now. So we'll see what that looks like come next season. Let's move ahead for, you know, Christian Wood, current Houston big man. Now we're moving on to Clint Capella, former Houston big man. And Clint Capella, you know, one of the top 5 centers in the NBA this year, and a strong case to be made for top 3. This moment came in a game in which he recorded a triple-double the old-fashioned big man way with 10 blocks.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where like he was good in Houston, then went to Atlanta, and then a little bit last year. Like I'm not sure if it was. I don't remember. I don't know if it was hell with or what, but I was like, oh, that one might not have worked out in Atlanta's favor. And then this year he was, like you said, a top 5 big in the league, being able to, you know, finish at the rim, and then I mean protect the rim like that. When you're able to protect the rim like that, for like myself, like a guard who likes to play defense, it gives you so much more confidence. Just because like if I get beat on the ball, like you know, Clint's going to sit there and he's going to throw it. So like it gives you so much more confidence as like a wing defender to just kind of play as aggressive as you want, just because you know he's going to protect the paint.
What I've noticed through the playoffs and can come to appreciate more now than ever is just how good of a coach Nate McMillan is and the schematic approach he took. Because obviously the game plan going into the first round with the Knicks was like, let's try to find Trey, let's try to bully Trey. And what Clint Capella did was basically created a system in which you could not pick and roll to ISO on Trey Young because you always have Clint just a few feet away to clean up any messes. So
exactly.
It's a perfect combo. I mean, Clint Capella, talk about a guy that's been blessed by great creators from James Harden to Trey Young. Can't get much better than that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Moving along here, we've got another kind of career game. This was a career high from Darius Garland. He dropped 34. Darius Garland in year 2, really showed some signs of progress.
Yeah, he was one of. I feel like a lot of people were kind of questioning, like, oh, why did they pick him? Because obviously they had Colin, the year before, I think it was, or 2 years before. But then you started to see this year, like, all right, now we know why they picked him. And that, as what's Larry said, what did Larry coined the nickname Sexland? Sexland or whatever it is.
That's right.
So something like that. Sexland. Oh,
Sexland, you got it.
Sexland was it Sexland? All right. So yeah, that's as Larry coined that phrase. But them two, that's gonna be a good backcourt for a while.
The thing about Darius was coming out of Vanderbilt, I think he only played like 6 or 7 games because he got hurt as a freshman. But in those 6 or 7 games, he shot like 21 for 40 from 3-point land or something like that. So going into the draft, you're like, he can be a sharpshooter like Steph or Dame, or he could be the primary creator. So, I mean, yeah, and between him and Colin Sexton, you've got 2 really great point guards that can both score, shoot, and pass. So,
yeah, there was some chatter, I think, because that was going into my second year. There was some chatter, like, the Lakers, I think we had the 4th pick. I think they either had him for some workouts or that they were thinking about getting him because obviously he, like you said, shot the ball really well in college. So they're like, he's a shooter. So it's funny. Funny how things go around.
Next moment we've got is a former teammate of yours, Josh.
Who's do I like? Okay, I was going to say, do I like him? Yeah.
Got Kyle Kuzma. Big throwdown.
Oh, put the Pumas on his feet. Who's that? Biombo? That's tough. That's the thing with him. Like, like Kuzma's athletic, 6'8" and athletic. You're gonna be good. I'm not sure about the hairstyle on this one. So, but the play is nice.
The Pete Davidson blonde, yeah. So, Josh, I want to reset the clock, and I might be speaking out of my element because I don't know for sure if you were on the court, but I think you were. There was that iconic Lonzo debut at Summer League. LeBron was in the crowd. He was with the Cavs, and Kuzma and Caruso seemed to steal the show. I think Lonzo still put up a triple-double, but what was your first reaction? Because obviously Kuzma coming out of college, not super heavily touted. I think he went 27th or 28th in the draft. The first time you hit the court with him, were you impressed? Were you surprised? Were you, just run through the gambit of thoughts as you saw his game kind of progress from what you thought it was as a college kid?
Yeah, definitely surprised because obviously he had a solid college career. I actually knew him a little bit in Utah. We met at I think it was like an Under Armour camp or something like that. But he was good. But obviously the college game is so much different from the NBA. So once you start to see how he was able to use the spacing to his advantage, and do those kind of things, you knew he was going to be good. So when he first got saw that, you were pretty pleasantly surprised. Then obviously with he had a great connection with AC and Zoe, especially in that summer league, and that's when he really started to kind of make a name for himself.
Yeah, and this is obviously going to be a really big year for both, or a big offseason for the Lakers as they go back to the drawing board, and Kuzma's contract is one that I'm hearing people suggest might be one they could move if they wanted to kind of do some musical chairs and reshuffling. But Kyle Kuzma is not new to the trade rumor game. He has been in it since the day he was drafted. Funny comment from Top Shot Caller. Collector bonus. Collect one of each of Kuzma moments with different hairstyles. I love it. This is a deep cut, but in NBA Live 1998 with Tim Hardaway Sr. on the cover of the game, played it on the old PC. You could play with the Chicago Bulls, and Michael Jordan was not part of the PA, so he was number 98 or something, and he was just the best player in the game. But you can play with those Bulls, and Dennis Rodman, every game you played, had a new hairstyle. So sometimes
that's actually hilarious.
I would play the game. I would see Dennis Rodman just with the bleached blonde, and I'm like, no, that's too boring. I'd quit, restart it, and he'd have the Spider-Man
something else.
It was a great, entertaining grade school Jacob move. Awesome. We got one more breakout year to cover, and this guy has been a star for a while, but this year he really cemented himself as a fringe all-star, if not before, career highs in shooting percentage and points per game. CJ McCollum just lives in the mid-range. This guy is very tough to stop.
Yeah, his mid-range is elite. I think I did a Top Shot stream on my account before, and I was opening up some packs, and I think it was when he was either a reward or he was I forgot. Or he was big into the moments of, I forgot what pack it was, but he was one of those dudes his top 5 mid-range, probably top 3 mid-range guys in the game, and he's one of those dudes analytically, I don't care what any analytical person says, but bro, don't tell CJ McCollum that a mid-range is not a good shot, bro. His mid-range is so elite, and he has his own wine, so he's good in my book.
When it comes to that top 3, I'm gonna let's do this little segment here. Obviously, Chris Paul comes to mind as an elite mid-range guy. DeMar, yeah, there are so many to choose from. I obviously don't want to let you leave someone hanging, but if you have to do a top 3, the holy grail of who the best mid-range guys are today, and you can just let's reframe it so it's not the best, but you're playing defense. Who are the last 3 guys you want to see on the other end?
In terms of mid-range game, it's probably going to be, for me, CJ, DeMar, and Chris Middleton. I honestly, I hate Chris. I don't hate Chris Middleton, but I hate guarding Chris Middleton because he's one of those guys where it's he loves tough shots. He thrives when he has to shoot a tough shot. So it's no matter how good defense I play on him, I'm gonna force him into some contested fadeaway, turnaround mid range, and he's gonna cash it. He's one of those guys. So it's those 3 probably have the best, at least mid range, for sure right now.
Well, appreciate you answering the question, because that's one you can easily plead the fifth on and no one would hold it against you. But all 3 great choices, and I think Chris Middleton more times than not, and we'll see him later in an upcoming segment. So we'll save our Middleton discussion. We've got the rookies though. Time for the rookie chatter. A big rookie debut. Or the debut as a legendary for James Wiseman. This moment came from his career high when he scored 25 points, and the guy can really get up there, as you can see here. Did you face off against Wiseman at all this year? I know he got hurt.
I wasn't able to. He's one of the guys you heard about. You knew he was going to be good. Kind of bummed that we weren't able to play him because for some reason we played Golden State only played Golden State literally at the end of the year. So that was kind of sucked. But he's a talent, and he's going to be in the league for a long time.
James Wiseman, of course, a Memphis kid, Memphis product, played sparingly at Memphis. But, I think when you look at the Warriors' path to contention, it hinges on 2 things. Number 1, James Wiseman becoming the star that they anticipate he'll be at number 2, or a team valuing James Wiseman as a star and trying to make a win now move to.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how he plays with Steph and Clay, fully healthy. I'm kind of interested in that. So I think that would kind of depend um, on how he is or how the Warriors are going to be. He's a good tough talent, but if he doesn't fit with them, don't be surprised if his name's on that trade block come what's it called, trade deadline season.
Yeah, well, maybe even sooner as the summer unfolds. I'm sure we'll see a lot of movement. Now, from what I saw from James Wiseman, it's an incredibly raw and potential brimmed player that will be a problem in the right circumstances. So rooting for him. Let's move on to the next rookie here. We got Cole Anthony, an avid Top Shot collector himself, and he was hyped to see this game winner make it as a Holo Icon moment.
I remember this. Did he have like an iconic interview after this one too, bro?
He sure did. He sure did.
So I think he was one of those guys. I didn't get to play against him either because I think he was hurt the first time we played him. And then I got hurt, and then I was hurt, and I wasn't able to play him at all. But he's gonna be a tough talent, and especially I remember. I actually remember this interview, and it was hilarious.
The thing about Cole Anthony is like some players wait their whole career for game winners. Cole Anthony had 2 or 3 this year alone as a rookie. Like the guy has just he is on it and he locks in at the end of games. We had Terrence Ross on for the Premium Pack Mint show a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him who the chattiest players in the league are, who are the biggest trash talkers. And he pointed to his teammate Cole first. He's like,
"Oh, really?
I think it's Cole and Draymond. Draymond and Cole are the top 2."
Oh, wow, that's big then, because Dre talks all game, every game, doesn't get tired.
Yeah, we're lobbying the league for a league pass subscription. Just Draymond mic'd up for 25 games a year. I'll sign up for that. Easy.
That's what you just need. You need some NBA Top Shot moments with Draymond just mic'd up. Like, no matter what it is, like you got to get like the iconic free throw line, like him flaming Paul Pierce. Like you got to put that at the Top Shot. It has to be there. It has to.
Has he ever talked trash to you?
Nah, not really. He's one of those guys where it's like, if you don't really talk to him too much, like it's cool. So and I'm cool with him. So we don't we'll talk a little bit before a game or after a game, but during the game I'm kind of quiet. I don't really talk too much, at least to the other team, unless I really know him. So I haven't got flamed by him yet. So that's a good thing.
Good, yeah. You don't want to be the source of his anger. All right, moving ahead here, we got Saddiq Bey. Speaking of Villanova,
yeah, I'm a fan of this one.
Saddiq Bey, another classic example of NBA teams maybe taking.
Wasn't he 7 for 7 this game? I think
this was from a career high, 30 points, 12 rebounds. Part of one of those rare trades this late in the season, he was a part of a 3-team deal last draft night where all the players, Saddiq, needless to say, the Pistons are not still in contention, but Luke Kennard went to the Clippers. They're still in contention. Landry Shamet went to the Nets. They're still in contention. And I think Saddiq Bey, I think we can all agree, is probably the most exciting of the 3. So Detroit might be big winners here. I don't know, Josh, if it rings familiar, but Villanova kid, excellent 3-and-D college prospect, and for whatever reason doesn't go in the, or is a little slept on in the draft. And I'm not only talking about you, I'm also talking about McHale. I'm also talking about Don. It's just relentless. You guys need to get a little more credit coming out of the draft.
Yeah, man. For this, I'm actually really happy. Obviously, Saddiq made it to the league, but obviously the success he's had, because he actually went to my high school. So when I think I was a senior, I think it was 8th grade, and he'll try to we do some open gyms and he'll run with us and all that. And he was this small, skinny dude, but he had that competitive kind of dog mentality. So you knew he was always going to be solid. But then the growth and then him getting stronger, came into. And now, obviously you see it all. He's 6'7", 220, 225. knockdown shooter, competitive. So I'm really happy for him that he made it to the league, but he's in a good spot like Detroit. He's able to just, hoop and develop.
Really reminds me of another guy in the league that had another big year, DeAndre Hunter. Just sturdy, big body wing that can shoot, can defend. I think the future is really bright for him, but maybe not quite as bright as this next guy. And that's no slight to Sadiq, but LaMelo is just on another planet with talent. And this is his only legendary moment.
That is so tough. That is so tough.
That's like he's playing 2K out there. It's just madness.
Bro. That's the thing with him. Like you just you love it just because he goes out there and he has fun. Like he's competitive. He really genuinely enjoys the game and enjoys competing. And I mean, honestly, I don't know how you guys picked just one highlight for this moment to be like. For his legendary moment, this pack could have been like 8 different moments. Like he could have his own pack of just moments because he was like you knew he was gonna be a highlight, but some of the stuff he does is just crazy.
Yeah. So on that note, we do have a metallic gold LaMelo Ball moment that will not be in this upcoming release. It will be distributed at a later date via a mechanism or a method that is TBA. We don't have the answer today, but we've got 499 LaMelo Ball metallic gold moments. If you want to get a LaMelo Ball moment this week via pack, the Holo Icon is still your best bet, and that moment will be numbered to 99. You obviously have played with his brother for quite a while, and I think both of them share that kind of savant ability to just read the floor 2 steps ahead of the opposition. But I think LaMelo may have taken a little bit more of LeVar's kind of moxie from childhood and shows that on the court with like unrelenting confidence no matter where he is.
Yeah, Zio's real chill, real cool, calm and collective. Doesn't talk too much. Melo's definitely the little more rambunctious one of the 3. But I mean, I guess that makes him, and he was always like that too. So it's just funny, and it's good. It's good to see he's somewhere where he can be himself. He can play the game, and he can make mistakes. And it's I know the little bit of a problem early in the year with like some of his turnovers, but now it's like you saw what he can do, and so now it's like you just let him do that.
Yeah, I mean, this year, this draft class was not super highly touted coming out, but I think like between LaMelo and Ant and Halliburton, just like a loaded class left and right. So that does it for the rookies. But moving ahead, now we're in the meat of the section. We've got a bunch of all-stars. We're just going to zip through these guys and community. You already know these guys are superstars and the real the most exciting guys in the league. And Devin Booker putting on a show, showing out in the playoffs, really having a breakout year here. And this is his legendary moment from Series 2, throwing it down. I should pause because it is possible he gets another legendary moment if they do make the finals. Like, let's pump the brakes there. And now that they're in the conference finals, can't rule it out. Josh,
that's so tough.
2 things. Devin Booker, obviously scored 70 points very early in his NBA career. Did you know that he was this good, or did you think that he was a little bit of maybe empty calories, good stats, bad